Hello. Hi, everybody. I am so happy to be here. This is the uh, Having a Magical Household panel on LlewellynCon. My name is Raechel Henderson. I am an author. I have two books out currently with Llewellyn, So Witchy, techniques, tools, and projects for sewing magic. And then also uh, um, The Scent of Lemon and Rosemary, Working Domestic Magic with Hestia. I have a third book coming out in December called The Natural Home Will of the Year, which is about celebrating the various Sabbats through decoration, cooking, crafting, and ritual. I am a witch and a pagan, and I work with Hestia, who is the Greek goddess of the hearth. So I am all about the domestic sphere. I like to say that my goal is to become the pagan Martha Stewart. Um, so what I am here to talk about today is how to incorporate magic in your home environment, and do so in a way that then uh, you feel like you are surrounded by magic. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk for about 20 minutes and then I'm going to open up to questions. So if anybody has questions, we'll chat about all the stuff that you can do with about domestic magic. But right now, let's start with talking about what a home is. Um, the home is not just uh, a house. I've lived everywhere from, I've done dorm rooms to studio apartments to a 5 bedroom, 3 bath house to right now I'm currently in a trailer mobile home in Wyoming. And every one of those places I considered home. I think we kind of get stuck on this idea that home has to be the White House with the picket fence and everything like that. Whereas what home really is basically where you are. So whether you are living in a traditional house, whether you are living in an apartment, whether you're sharing a space with other people, non-practitioners, whether you're living in your car or in an RV or doing the van life, you can incorporate these magical practices into your home environment. Um, Basically, and I'm sorry, I'm glancing down and I have notes here. But basically, creating a magical home or including magic into your home is all about looking at the mundane and seeing how you can incorporate magic into it. It's an exercise in imagination and intention. So, what you want to do um, throughout, if you want to incorporate magic into your home environment, is look at what you do daily or weekly or monthly in your house and look at that and say, how can I make that magical? I like to start with my favorite way of incorporating magic, which is probably not everybody else's favorite and probably everybody's least favorite way to thing to do, which is cleaning. We clean our space, whether that's we have a daily ritual, we clean it daily, weekly, monthly, semi-monthly, once a year. However we do that, we eventually tidy stuff up. And that is an excellent way to then start bringing magic into your environment because it's something that we do on a regular basis. So, what you can start with is I always liken dust to negative energy, to stagnant, stale energy. Um, so, just even the act of dusting, you can view as it's a cleansing of your space. You're getting rid of that stale energy. Same thing with like sweeping. Sweeping is a very grounded practice. It's something historically that has been used often. You know, we have our besom, we have our brooms, we sweep the floor. You can do things as you can make salt sweeps with salt for purification, and then herbs for dried herbs for purification. Sprinkle that around, and then sweep everything up, and it's going to collect up the your not only, you know, pet hair and dust and all that, but it's going to get that stale energy out of your house, and you're going to sweep that towards either like your trash can or your front door or whatever is going to be an exit for the house, to then sweep that energy out of the house. You can do things things like add moon water to your mop bucket, add essential oils to your mop bucket, add essential oils to your cleaning supplies. This gets your intentions in there and allows you to then get that magical energy around your house. My big thing is, I like, and what I have written about in The Scent of Lemon and Rosemary, is making your own cleaning supplies. If you make your own cleaning supplies, that gives you from start to finish the ability to empower, envision, and incorporate your magical practice into your cleaning. And it doesn't have to be anything more complicated than adding some vinegar, some water, and then essential oils to a spray bottle and using that as a cleaner. So cleaning, you want to do cleansing first of all. That's a big part of magic anyway. So adding the intention and the magical intention of, this is my space, I am cleansing it to get rid of any malicious energy, any negative energy, anything like that, to then prepare my space, and putting that magical intention in your cleaning. Then you're doing something every day or every week or every month, or even, once a year when you do your big spring cleaning, you are incorporating that magical intent in with your with your everyday life. And it allows you to I know that cleaning isn't everybody's cup of tea and people don't like cleaning a lot, but that is one of the simplest ways to bring that magical intent and that magical energy into your everyday and into your home. The next thing, once you have cleansed something, then you're going to consecrate it. And you're going to do that by doing a house blessing. You're going to, that way it marks the house or your home as magically yours. And this is where we come back to the idea that a home is where you are and what you say is your home, not any preconceived. We're not talking about legal definitions of home. We're talking about our magical definitions. So by consecrating, doing a house blessing, even if it's just you're just blessing your room, because you share space with other people, that helps set it up so that you start thinking about your home magically. And when you're thinking about your home magically, then you're in that mindset that you start doing more and more. It starts coming naturally. This is a practice. There's a reason they call it a practice. It's something that you have to do over and over before it becomes natural, which again is why I mentioned the cleaning. But when it comes to your home, to house blessing, things as simple as making yourself an anointing oil and anointing the door of your the front door, anointing it, anointing your windows. If you're like doing the van life or living in a car, anointing the mirrors on the doors. That then you're staking your claim. You're like, this is my space. Setting up a home altar, which doesn't have to be particularly complicated. Like my home altar is basically a hearthstone, which is it's a piece of Wyoming sandstone that I picked up when I was out foraging, and on that is where I put my candle and my little. I have a little Hestia figurine from Playmobil that I put on there, and that is where I kind of envision the soul, the home spark of my home being. And so you can set up a home altar, keep it clean. That's where you can put out your offerings to your to ancestors, to your deities, to any spirits you're working with. And that helps, again, state that this is my home. This is where I am, where I rest my head and where I rest myself and where I do my magic. I would also a great way to include home magic is to bless like your plates, your linens, anything that you use on a daily basis. I have placemats that we use every day, and I like to the placemats and the napkins after I've washed them. Again, because I'm a big cleaning domestic person, I will iron my napkins. But when I do that, I spray them down. I have a spray that is rosemary, essential oil, witch hazel, and water, and I spray that down and then I iron it in. And as I'm doing that, I'm blessing this so that I can bring those blessings into onto my table. Tables are often, especially kitchen tables, are often for a lot of people the home, the heart of the home is where we all gather to eat. And so if you're blessing the items that you're using for eating, then you're building this layer, you're layering up and building this foundation of magic and blessing and goodwill and health and all of that, which will then bring you it just you start, as that builds up, you start to feel it. You start to feel surrounded by the magic and by the just this prosperous beautiful energy. And I apologize again, I keep having to come over here to read my notes. Once you have consecrated or cleaned and then consecrated your space, you are going to then protect it. You clean it up, you consecrate it, you say, this is my space, and then you protect it. And that again can be, there are so many different ways to do protection. My thing that I often use is envisioning a boundary around my space, around the outside of the house, because I'm a sewing witch. It's needles. I envision needles as a fence and gate around my house for everything to so that any negative or malicious energy, magical or intentions or any of that gets caught on the needles. But a super basic, just envisioning white light around your space, around your home, that creates a boundary where nothing can cross over that boundary without your permission. You say, without my express permission, this is the boundary because this is my home. And uninvited visitors, uninvited energy just can't come in. You also have options of things like witch bottles, witch balls. There's all, salt. I have found what I like is black salt, which is just salt with the burnt ashes of herbs. And um, I have found that if you are in a place where, again, if you have to keep it on the down low that you're working magic, or if you have children or animals, putting the salt, rather than doing it on the floor, you can put it above the trim of your door. Put crystals next to your door, like black tourmaline and other crystals that are protective and that are also cleansing, to then, when people come in, it helps cleanse away that energy that they're bringing in with them. Another thing that you can do, again, if you're trying to keep it on the down low, or if you're just, you like decorating, is put a wreath on your door. Use herbs and decorations that are symbolic of protection, of cleansing. Put it on your door every time you leave or you come home. You can touch and ground onto that wreath to then take away that negative energy. I read somebody mentioned that they have a travel camper. There's lots of different ideas for mobile home altars. Again, it does not have to be something that is overly complicated. I've seen people, just have like stuff in a jar. You can do just a painting. Do some sort of painting, or have a shadow box that is framed so that all the stuff can stay in there, and then it's small and contained, and you don't have to worry about stuff falling all over the place. There is a world of ideas that you can incorporate into your personal practice, that you can find something that will fit with your lifestyle and with how you are, how you work your own magic and your practice. All of these, what they come down to, though, the cleansing, the consecration, the blessing, the protection, all come down to intention. That what you're going to do is you are setting your intention for, this is a place of magic. I am building a magical life, and I'm building it here in my home. You can go all out and have all sorts of decorations, putting stuff up, artwork up on the wall, magical artwork, getting statuary and the like, or if you're a minimalist, having plants as you're bringing in nature and reminding yourself of our connection to the wider world around us. It's all about bringing in things that, to kind of paraphrase Marie Kondo, not so much sparks joy, but sparks magical thoughts. Having that all around you, having a household or a home or a space where you put your intent in for it to be magical, where you are protecting it, you are laying down these layers so that as over time you build up, that you will get to a point where you walk across that threshold and you go, I feel it. And again, it's a practice. It takes some time. But what you can do is you can, a little bit at a time. You don't have to, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Take some time, sit down, jot down a few ideas, and just start incorporate, pick one that you're like, this is something that I'm going to try. And if it doesn't work and you don't feel, it doesn't feel right, it doesn't resonate, pick something else. This is supposed to be personal, and what works for one witch is not going to work for every other witch. So I've been talking for a while. I want to open it up to if people have questions, and discuss what it is that you have questions about. So we've got Jen here is asking, do I have any suggestions for blessing a new home? She's moving into a new apartment in a few weeks. That's an excellent question. I Because I am a devotee, because I work with Hestia, my house blessings, I tend to like to work with flame. So if walking into the house, lighting a candle, so you're bringing in that domestic energy. I like to cleanse the space. Ringing bells or playing music is I like to open up all the windows, play some music, or ring bells to just kind of clear out the space, and then light my candle and proclaim, this is now my home. So bless this home. And I have some other house blessings in my scent of lemon and rosemary book, but it can be as simple as saying, bless this home, I bless my home, and envisioning the light from your candle just radiating out and touching everything, touching the walls, touching the windows, touching the floor, and getting all of that to bless it. And that's a really simple one that you can do that isn't going to take a whole lot of prep work. There was a question here from Runa, what's my newest favorite house magic? That's a really good question. We just, less than a year ago, moved into a new place. And right now, my favorite is, it's not new, it's a sweep. Mostly because my cousin gave me a sweep that she made of chamomile and juniper berries and a bunch of other herbs and a salt. And I like to spread that around and then sweep because, one, it cleans and it's really satisfying to sweep all that pile up, but it just makes, energetically, it makes the house feel better. I just, and you get moving. And I feel a lot of times magic and movement are very much linked, and you feel that as you move, you start linking your movement to, this is cleaning and this is cleansing my my space. Let's see, what else do we have here? Yeah, this isn't a question, but Ellen mentions that I might just add my Blessed Intention spray water directly to the washing machine. Yes, I do that. You can add a couple drops of essential oils or your blessing water, your moon water, sun water. If your sun water is good, really good for cleansing, drop that into your washing machine. If you use the felted wool dryer balls, put a few drops of essential oil onto that and hold it and give it the intention of, as stuff is spinning around the washing machine, as stuff is spinning around in the dryer, that's going to spin away all of anything that is clinging to it that doesn't serve me, and those essential oils and that magical water is going to bring in the energies that you want on your clothes, and then you're wearing your clothes every day, which again is this layering. So Donna has anyone made a hanging altar? And I think that hanging altars are an awesome idea, especially if you don't have a lot of space to put stuff. For a long time, I had a bulletin board was my was my magical altar, just because I didn't have space to put things. And you can do all sorts of you can do a lot of great stuff with that, with artwork, with uh, pins and color combinations and photographs and the like. I think that a hanging altar is a great idea. Especially, you can also do like shadow boxes that you hang, or stuff in frames. All of that it's your altar. If you say it's an altar, it's an altar. The altar police are not going to come knocking and banging and barging into your home and saying that's not an altar. So David is asking, do you use directional Orville correspondences? I don't know what Orville is. I don't know if that's a typo or if that's a specific, but I do use directional correspondences. I find, just because I find that it is a good way to just organize. Having a framework that's already out there that makes sense is, there's nothing wrong. You don't have to invent everything all on your own. You can, if there is a practice that is open to you, that makes sense to you, then there's no reason that you can't work with it. I have my altar right now is facing the north, and because that's where I'm drawn to, north and earth and all of that. Let's see, I'm just I do use color correspondences. That was brought up here as well. Again, because they make sense to me. But again, there is no reason that you can't just make your own correspondences. They're correspondences. They correspond with what you imagine in your head, and what feels right to you. So if green is your color for home, that works. Don't get so tied up into the idea of it should be this or it should be that. Don't spend so much time stuck on tables of correspondences and all of that you because that you're working magic that doesn't, or you're setting an intention that doesn't resonate with you. Because if it doesn't resonate, it's not going to work. And let's see. I'm not seeing any other. Let's see. Okay, so a bunch of people have mentioned my dress, and I'm going to take a moment to shout out that it is a tarot dress that a friend of mine made or designed, and I love it so much. It's my fancy dress for doing these sorts of events. So I will let my friend know that her dress is getting love. So we're coming up on, we've got about a minute left to go. And I just want to say that I'm so happy. Thank you so much for showing up to this talk. It's domestic magic is something that is just really close to my heart. And I think that we tend to ignore our home surroundings, and I think that that's a mistake. We all have we spend a lot of time in our home. We should make it magical. And I hope that you all got some information from and some ideas from this, and this was really a lot of fun, and I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. Thank you so much for being here.